Right, so today we're fitting a 10-inch rear sub box. This is how it's going to look once it's all finished. You see it's all curved in, all fits nicely. So we're going to show you how to fit this box today. So what we have is a disc, as you can see. The idea with this disc is the arrow points upwards, obviously, and then we have the holes where you screw into the van. So the ones which are countersunk, you can see, they're countersunk. Some of them may not be countersunk, but basically it's these ones here, the three which you then screw into the van. This hole here, the large hole, that aligns up with the clip on the van paneling. So it's that one there. If you pull it off, you can just see it. It's this one behind. So we need to align that large hole, that one there. Once you have it aligned, you can then make sure the arrow is facing upwards. And then you get your drill. We normally put a larger drill in first, just to mark it. Then we'll put a 2.5 or a 3mm drill through first, secondly, and then that's what we'll use to screw the screw into. So we've already drilled this one out, and obviously we put the screw straight in. And once you're happy, that will kind of hold it in place. Then you can go ahead and drill and screw your other two. So that's a large drill going in first, that's a 5mm. We put the 5mm in first to give you a centre hole into the metalwork behind. And then we use a 3mm drill to create the hole for the screw. When you drill these holes, make sure there's no cables behind where you're going to put the drill through. Sometimes the carpet gets caught around the end of the drill bit, which stops the drilling through, so make sure you keep pulling the carpet off. Right, so we drilled all the holes now. We're going to pick up the screws, which will be supplied. These are 4x40s. And then you just got to be careful when you're screwing in that, make sure it's cutting into the metal. There's the first one. So this vertical flange at the rear here, there may be a double skin or might have welding spots in there, so just be careful. Just make sure it's cutting in with the screw, so you're kind of tapping the screw in as you go. Once they're all in, you can tighten them up. You should be left with a solid disc on the van. And then that's not going anywhere. And then what we do, we get the subwoofer. And we hold the subwoofer up against it. Obviously you would connect your cable. We're not going to connect it for now, but just to say, you connect your cable up into there. You hold the subwoofer box back in position. And then inside here, which we'll do in a moment, there will be screw holes, or holes through the back. You can just see them there. And then we'll get the other screws which are supplied. And then you can screw directly through there, directly into the, so you'll go from the back of these screws here, these screw holes, directly into the disc. And then that will keep everything in tight. And then you can then go ahead and fit your subwoofer at the front. Make sure you fill the subwoofer box with some kind of sound deadener material. This is insulation that we use. And then we've already pre-wired the cable into the connection point at the back. Your connection point might be different. This is an older style. Currently we're using 2 stainless steel bolts, which is simpler. You can put your cable on there, bolt it in, and then leave your cable sticking out like this. Screw this box back in, it's all nice and tight, and then once you're happy with that, get your subwoofer connected up the cable and then screwed into the hole. So we're now ready to fit the box. We have pre-drilled the disc at the back here, just for safety, just to make sure nothing splits out. So what we do, we hold the box, the sub box up to the disc, and we poke a spike or a pencil through the holes in the back of the sub box, and we mark the disc, then we pre-drill them out. And he's just going to connect the cables up. Like I say, this one's a slightly different version that you'll probably receive. You also have a couple of stainless steel bolts. A couple of stainless steel bolts like these, and there'll be nuts and washers. Basically, you'll poke them through the two holes in the back of the sub box, put the nuts on, bolt them in, connect your cables up, then connect your cable up on the inside, which is in there, which is already done. So now we've marked them, pre-drilled them, we hold the sub box back to the wall. We get the screws. On this particular one, there's 3 screw holes, so there's 2 40mm screws, which are on the right hand side. So as you're looking at the box or towards the rear of the van, there's 2 40mm screws which go in. And on the other side, because the distance is a little bit further, you have a 50mm screw. So this one's a bit longer, obviously, 50mm. But on the one you receive, there might be 4 screws. So you'll have 2 40mm this side and 2 50mm on the forward side. We've just changed the design slightly, so you have 4 screws, so it's a lot even more secure than it is with 3 screws. Once it's screwed in, that's how solid it is. So 3 screws is more than strong enough, but we've put 4 on the new ones. If you don't want to use 4 and just use a 3, you can put a little bit of tape on the holes which are already in there, which you see we've done. We've moved the holes over slightly on this one just because the disc on this one was slightly different size. But on yours, there'll only be 4 holes in the back. If you don't use the holes, like I say, put some tinfoil tape over there or fill the hole with some glue, whatever you want to do. If you didn't fill the holes, it probably isn't an issue either, but that's just what we do here. And now we've put the box in there, we're going to get the subwoofer, which is here. This one's a Hertz CS250, and then we're going to connect that up, connect it into this front face there, connect the cable, screw it into the flange. This flange is returned, there's a recess all the way around, so the sub box will sit back slightly. And then we'll get it connected up to the head unit and get some tunes going. So we put a few screws in just to align everything here. Some of the older boxes or the previous versions won't have any holes available for the subwoofer because we thought people may use different sub boxes and different subwoofers with their boxes. But we're finding more and more people are buying the subwoofer directly from us. So we're going to, in the future on the next version, all these holes for these screws will be pre-drilled into the face of the sub box. So there's no alignment you need to do. You just hold the subwoofer up, get the screws aligned with the holes which are pre-drilled, and then you can screw them directly in. So if you buy the box from us at VanBus or from Transport HQ, the new versions going forward will have these holes pre-drilled. So you use a drill there just to get the screws, and the screws are quite long because they're for different applications. So he's used the drill here just to get the screws all the way in pretty much, and then he's using a screwdriver now just hand tighten, just to make sure he doesn't over tighten them and split any of the wood or split the ring or do anything untoward. So all in all, this should take between half hour and an hour to fit this sub box. The carpet liner might take you about 40 minutes to an hour to do, depending on your experience. If you've done a lot of carpet liner before, it might take you half an hour. Obviously, you need to wire the van take the wiring from here to the head unit or the amp, wherever you're fitting your amp. But to fit this box, carpet line it, fit the sub, probably take you about 2 hours in total. if that. You know, there's a challenge. You can try and do it a bit quicker. So that's not going anywhere. You'll notice in our sub here, this hurt sub, there is a dent in there that is meant to be there. So don't, if you do buy a sub from us, don't think there's damage to that grill. You can have these subwoofers without the grill if you want, because the grill is optional, but we tend to supply them with the grill because you need a bit of protection on the sub inside there. Thanks everyone. We'll take a video once it's all connected up, so you can hear it, but the sound on the camera, on the telephone or the camera, it doesn't do the thing justice really. It's always a lot better in person. But once it's all fitted, you'll see there's no visible screws at all. All the screws are hidden. There's no screws to see on the front here, apart from the ones holding the sub in. And this one here is for a, well, these ones will fit under the vans with electric sliding doors. We also do a 12-inch version of this sub. The sub box is taller and longer to accommodate the 12-inch sub. We sell them to quite a few of our traders. They like the 12s, especially people like Bognor Motors. They like the 12 inches because they do some serious installs. But if you have the 12-inch one and this is taller and you have the motors, it will be notched out along the back here to allow for this motor housing. There you go, all fitted, no screws visible, all nicely contoured in, no gaps. We haven't done anything here which is any different. This is just a standard van, standard combi van, and that's the kind of fit you will get.